Today is National Coffee Day. I know it's National Coffee Day because I read it on the internet, so it must be true. And today I'm celebrating this big day by declaring my independence from coffee. In fact, I have been caffeine-free now for 40 days. Haven't had a drink, and I feel good. And that gives me the moral superiority to wag my finger at the rest of you people and tell you, you've got to get off caffeine. It's going to make you pee an awful lot. That's what caffeine does. I mean, no one sees caffeine as a real danger. I mean, there are so many other addictions that are far worse, but caffeine isn't doing anything for you. The important thing is caffeine is taking up your money. It's taking your time. It's sending you to the bathroom every 15 minutes because it usually comes in liquid form, and it isn't helping you. And you may say, well, it gives me this pickup. You know, I'm a monster in the morning if I don't have my coffee. And yes, you're a monster in the morning if you don't have your coffee. But it's the coffee that's making you the monster. See, that's how addiction works. Addiction is like a thief who comes and steals your money in the middle of the night and then gives you some of your own money back to you. So yes, drinking a cup of coffee will make you feel better. It will make you feel okay. And you're so grateful for that cup of coffee for making you feel okay. But it's the coffee stole that feeling from you. It's the coffee that makes you feel like crap. So you have to drink coffee. It's like a thief that's stealing your money and giving some of it back to you so you think the thief is being generous to you. When he's not, he's just a thief. Now, I went through a lot. It was surprising. I mean, caffeine you think of as this harmless addiction. And maybe it is harmless. You can't really point to any serious health effects, or people don't rob banks to feed their caffeine habit. But it's not necessary. And it's kind of a model for how you would quit something. If you can quit caffeine, then you probably have a lot of the tools that you need to quit something more serious. There are all sorts of addictions. I guarantee that no matter who you are addicted to things other than caffeine. You're addicted, if not alcohol, then addicted to certain patterns of behavior, certain things that I'm sure that we're all wrestling with addictions. So if you can kick caffeine, learn how to kick caffeine, well, then you've got to step up to quitting your other addictions. And I tell you, quitting caffeine is really tough. It is extremely painful. I decided just one day, this will be the end. And I quit cold turkey. And I think that's the only way you can quit any addiction. You got to just stop it right now. Because it's really hard to moderate, to taper yourself down. I don't think that really works. In any case, what worked for me is I stopped. A certain date, August 19th, 2016, was my last cup of coffee. And I do iced coffee. I take my iced coffee intravenously, and I do soft drinks. I'm not a serious drinker. I would probably be equivalent of 4 cups of coffee a day. But once I quit, that's when the withdrawal symptoms start. And these are physical symptoms, and really surprising. Not only do I feel just drab and dull and lifeless, but my body hurts. And for me, it hurt from the waist down. Everything, starting at my lower back all the way down to my legs, they really physically hurt. And my first inclination is to drink more coffee, to drink some coffee to make that pain go away. But I say I'm going to hold the line. I know this is part of the withdrawal process because I've quit coffee before. I know that this kind of pain is part of the withdrawal process. So at least I had the practice of quitting before. Now I'm doing it for real, and I you have to live through those withdrawal symptoms. It took a long time to make you addicted to coffee, and it takes a while for you to become unaddicted, and that is for the withdrawal symptoms to go away. And for me, it lasted a good week to 10 days, this kind of pain, this daily pain, not only the physical pain in my joints, in the lower half of my body, but you have the drab feeling, the depressing feeling, the feeling that life has no meaning. If you can't have your caffeine, life has no meaning. And no food, no special food would entice me. I was living in a period of Anhedonia, which means a period without pleasure, where all I really wanted was my coffee. But it ended. After the first week, things became easier. After 2 weeks, I'm not feeling any effects whatsoever, and that's the state I'm in now. In that I'm a morning person, so I don't need coffee in the morning. But in the afternoon, I just feel so drab and weak and lifeless that I need my coffee. And now I don't feel that anymore. Now that caffeine and I have gone our separate ways, I don't feel drab in the afternoon anymore, so I don't need the coffee anymore. So I am saving $5 a day or whatever I was spending on coffee. That's money in my pocket, and I'm not having to go through this process. This is a complication. Getting my caffeine fix every day was a complication to my life, among all the other complications in my life that I simply didn't need. Now I'm rid of it. I'm free. And imagine all the resources that would be freed up if the whole world quit coffee. Now, the whole world isn't going to quit coffee. The whole world is going to love coffee until the end of time, and they're going to celebrate it, and they're going to make jokes about it, because if you can make jokes about your addiction, then you don't have to feel bad about being addicted. So if you can make jokes about you being a monster in the morning and I need my cat, and I love my coffee, if you can make it seem light, and if you can make there be all these different kinds of caffeine, you can go into Starbucks and buy all these different kinds of caffeine, and because you're selecting a caramel caffeine or a mocha caffeine, it makes you seem that you're cultured, not addicted. And if you're going to quit, you just got to cut all that stuff out of your life. And once you've cut all that stuff out of your life, you now have a big sliver of that life left that you can now use for something else. So now I'm looking for something else to quit. I've never been into alcohol, and certainly never been into illegal drugs. So now that I've quit caffeine, I can look at my other behavioral traits, these addictive traits, things that I know I shouldn't be doing, and I can change them because I know how the process works now, and I know how to become unaddicted. So what more do I need to say? Once you're unaddicted, you can't start again. You can't take even a little tiny sip of coffee, because once you start, once you trip over that threshold where you start just a little bit, then it's going to accelerate. So you just have to cut it off completely and say, this is it. I'm never going to touch coffee ever again.